got another little adventure story. And this one, I know I said I was going to do another negative story, but I remembered in the process that I did have another positive story that I thought would be fun to share. So this is a fun one. So a little content warning here. There's going to be some adult themes discussed in this one. So back in the day, many, many years ago, I had a friend that I worked with, and his fiance very suddenly passed away. And they had two young children. And he wanted to go Christmas shopping for them, and he wanted me to come along. That was cool. That was groovy. And we went and did that. And then we got done Christmas shopping. And he was like, hey, let's go hit up the strip club. Now, completely unbeknownst to him, he had no idea about any of this. The ABDL, nothing. He knew nothing about any of it. I was wearing, and if I remember right, I was wearing a Depend fitted brief, the plastic, Depend that existed then, with an underpad modified into a stuffer or a booster. And I'm like, he's like, hey, let's go to the strip club. I'm like, oh, yeah, oh, like, and, as a rock musician back in the day, objecting to that would have been weird. So I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do that. I'm like, I'm wearing this diaper, and I'm about to roll up into a strip club. Oh my God. So we rolled up into this place. And so the evening went by, and these two dancers, I'm not going to belittle them by calling them strippers. They're dancers, they're entertainers, they're doing their thing. I'm not by any means belittling that profession. I'm all for it, really. It's fun. I don't partake in those activities anymore, just because it's like I'm 42. I'm too old. Like, anyway. So these two dancers in particular single us out, and we're cool with it, except for the blonde is going after him, and the brunette is going after me, but it was totally the other way around. Like, I don't necessarily have a blonde brunette kind of thing. I'm actually particular to redheads. But just everything about them was the other way. He was into the brunette, and I was digging the blonde, but the brunette was all up on me, and the blonde was all up on him. And so I just kind of leaned in and whispered into the brunette's ear. I'm like, hey, you and your friend, you're going to make a lot more money if you switch places. Because I'm digging her and he digs you, and this is backwards. So the both of you are gonna make more money if you flip this around. And it wasn't, she didn't hesitate for a second. It was swap plate. She jumped up and whispered in her friend's ear, like, "Hey, let's." I don't know what she said to her, but they swapped places, quick, fast, and in a hurry. So they swapped places, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And after some chit chat and whatever, I was like, "Hey, let's go do a private dance." And I'm still wearing this diaper. And she's giving me this lap dance, and it's fun. It's awesome. I'm digging it. It was great. It was a good old time. And she keeps commenting on my big package, which I know is a stripper thing, and they tell everybody that and whatever, dancer. Sorry, stripper. I said stripper, dancer. Yeah, they this they do that. It's whatever. I'm not, eh, you know. But the more she was doing it, the more it was making me like laugh because I'm like, it probably feels bigger because it's under, like 2 inches of freaking padding. And the course of the conversation that was going on, because if you've ever gotten a lap dance from a stripper, there's conversation that happens. So if you've ever been in this position and gotten a private dance, then you know that there's a little bit of back and forth conversation that happens. But in this case, she kept saying these things that, like, in my mind, I'm like laughing about, and I just couldn't hold it back. And she, eventually she's like, "What's so funny?" I'm like, "Have you ever given a lap dance to a guy in a diaper before?" She's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, you have now." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." She just straight ripped my pants open to see my diaper. And she was like, "Well, let me just ask why." I'm like, "Well, it's hard to explain, but like I didn't have a good childhood, and this makes me feel safe and comfortable." And then this, like, I can't even believe that this is what happened. But she was like, "Oh, you poor little baby." Like, she just like flipped into mom mode. And she was like, "Oh, you poor little guy." And just like, and then she just reached down in my diaper and grabbed a hold of things and started, you know, you know, and was kissing on my neck and whispering in my ear all these sweet, loving things that were just like, it's like, how do you even know that that's the kind of stuff that you should say to me right now? But it just was. And holy smokes, I like, this is one of those memories that I look back on and I'm like, how the F did that happen? It was amazing. So yeah, don't always expect the worst. Um, like, well, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Most probably, you're not going to get a good reaction like that. But every once in a while, a stripper is gonna understand and give you a handy in the private dance room where that stuff's not supposed to happen. But sometimes that just might happen. So there's hope in the world. So this has been a fun one. I hope y'all got some chuckles out of this one too, because I did. This wasn't the little adventures I'd planned to record. I'll give you that one next month, which is a totally like horror story, but it's a funny one. So, till next time, you know.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. But before you go, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you'll be notified when my videos are released. If you can, please share with all of your little friends so that we can continue to bring the community together and engage in healthy, helpful discourse. See you next time.
Stay padded.